So now we will go for your next experiment, that is your MOSFET characteristics. Go to File, New, Project. So in this project we will keep it as MOSFET characteristics. So So browse is going to be a delocation. Okay. So now I am going to create a blank project. Then it is going to be okay. So now I have got the blank screen there. So in this blank screen now I have to simulate the circuit. So go to place, part. So now we want to select your MOSFET. So your MOSFET is nothing but your M break N. So you have got the MOSFET here. So take the component, place it here, escape, then your enter symbol. So once it has been done, next is you have to take your resistance. So your resistance, you have taken the resistance, take the part, you are going to place it here. So only one resistance you want, escape. Now we are going to have your resistance there, or I can take the other resistance, your R analog. So this resistance I will take. I will delete it, I will take this resistance. So R analog you take, not P. Okay. So P means with numbers it will be, there is not going to be a difference there. You can keep it that also. So your resistance, I have taken it as 1K there. Next is your VDC. So VDC, that is your VDC. So here you have selected your VDC voltage. So connect here one VDC and connect here one VDC. So escape. Now you are going to have your component to be fixed. Next is we have to take your wire. So place your wire. So that is your W. So now I am going to connect it. So this is your MOSFET here. MOSFET to your resistance, and this resistance to this V1 supply. Next is this gate to this resistance. Next is from this V2 to so this one we have connected it. Next is I have to connect here. Actually this one I have to connect it here, and next is this I have to connect it to this connection there. So once I connect it, escape. So here you place part, place your wire. So this wire, it should be shorted to this terminal there. So once it is shorted, escape, then you can remove it. So now I have connected it, your MOSFET. Here it should be your ground terminal. So for a ground terminal, you can close your parts. You can go for your ground terminal. Place the ground here. OK. So escape. Now this is over. Next is what you have to do. Place the probe here. So go here. Type it as VCC. Enter, you will get a probe there. So place a probe. So because what voltage we are going to measure, that we have to write it here. For that we are placing the probe here. So once you place the probe, escape, enter. So this VCC voltage, I want to change it as here across your VDS I am going to measure it. So it is your VDS. Okay. Next is this voltage is going to be your VGS. VGS. Okay. Next is this voltage. This is your gate voltage. So that we are going to have it as your VGG. Okay. So next is this one is going to be your VDD voltage. This is your okay. So now your circuit connection is over. We are going to go for your new simulation profile. So new simulation profile, I can have it as test, create, so a simulation window has been opened. So again it is your DC sweep you should have in your analysis. Select your DC sweep. So your primary sweep you are going to keep. So your primary sweep is going to be for your transfer characteristics, it is going to be VGG. So the value, start value is going to be 0. Here your end value is going to be 10. Your increment is going to be here 1. Next is your secondary sweep. Secondary sweep is when VGG means your VDD is going to be constant. So VDD it is going to be, your start value is going to be your 0. Your end value is going to be your 5. And this increment is going to be your 1. So okay. So after applying the conditions, now what we have to do is we have to run the program. So run the program there. So once you run it, your simulation window will be open there. So now your simulation window has been opened. So now we are going to get the output there. So in this, what we are going to do is we are going to plot axis setting. So now here in this case, your axis variable is nothing but versus your VGS. Input side is going to be your VGS. So here you have your VGS. Okay. Okay. Next is your y-axis. Y-axis is nothing but trace. Add trace. Add traces you are going to versus your ID. So here in this case you are going to have your ID current to be present. So ID. Okay. So once you press, you are going to get the output waveform. So this is going to be the transfer characteristics of your MOSFET. So this is for various values of your IG. You are going to get your VDD. You are going to get your so this is going to be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 VDD values. You are going to get the output there. This is your transfer characteristics. So now close this window for drain characteristics. Go for PSpice, edit simulation profile. So in edit simulation profile, it is going to be your DC sweep. Primary sweep is going to be your, here in this case, this is going to be your VDD. Your variation is going to be 0, 10, 1. Next is your secondary sweep. Secondary sweep is going to be your VGG. So it is 0, 5, 1. Now you can go for OK. So once it is OK, you are going to run the program there. So run the program. Now if there is going to be no error, you will getting a simulation window there. You can see that in your simulation window. Now you have to set your x-axis and your y-axis. So for your x-axis, your plot, axis settings, axis variable. Now we are going to have it as a VDS. So VDS is, here you have your VDS, then OK. So once it is there, OK. So next afterwards you are going to go for your trace. In your trace, add trace. Add trace is going to be your ID. So ID is going to be here. This is going to be OK. So now we have got your drain characteristics. So this is the drain characteristics of your MOSFET.